Hi everybody, and welcome to another episode of Casually Surviving Minecraft. I've been spending a lot of time building this building back behind me, and I'd like to show you what it is because I don't think I've seen many videos walking you through a full canola farm in survivor mode. Now, I've seen some setups on how to do automated canola from phase 1 to phase 4 where you have empowered oil, and this is one of the best fuels early game, but it is also one of the most complicated builds there is early game. Now I've built this canola farm out here, this power building out here at the edge of my farm property. You can see the main building back there, and you can see it's defended here pretty well because this is at the edge. This is a full power building, so I added a windmill there on the top, and over here in the back there was already some water and a little river, so I added a water wheel to the system as well. Generate a little power here on site. So I'm going to show you the fully automated setup from taking canola seeds to empowered oil. It's been a really fun build. Now this is all in survivor mode. This took me a long time to build. This is the second time I've built this type of system, but that was years ago, and so I wanted to do it a little cleaner this time, and I built like a whole building dedicated to it, this canola farm with a green roof. Yeah, check that out. So instead of growing the crops down there, I've decided to grow some crops on the roof here. I have potato and wheat down there and rice down on the ground. That's for the gasoline engine. I have the hemp farm there. And the plan is I'd like to get to space using all green energy. Now, the canola farm is one of the most energy efficient fuels out there early game. It's not too bad because it's everything you can build. Once you can build the empowerer right here, this is the most complicated thing you need to build right here is the empowerer. Got to thank 2 Asgard for the machine builds. He has a video online, talks about how to build these machines. It's all done in creative, it's quick and easy, it's a great system, but it does not show you all the steps on connecting it. I will not be showing you all the build steps. I'm using the mod pack of Dungeons, Dragons, and Space Shuttles. It has a great tiered crafted system for making things a little bit more complicated. This is the most complicated thing out there in this build. It is a very cool system. I love the crafting element, but again, in survivor mode, some of this stuff is going to take a little while, so I would not be showing you the video of every step. It's taken me days. Now let me show you the inner workings of taking canola seeds through the different phases and all the way to empowered oil. I'm going to break this video up into 2 parts. The first one will be more of an overview video that will help you see how everything is laid out from A to Z, and then I'll do a second part where I'll go into more of the nitty-gritty details that you'll want if you are going to try to build one of these yourself. Okay, let's show you an overview of all the different steps. We'll start up here at the very top. You have to have yourself a large canola field. If you have a sprinkler here, it's going to go 9 by 9, and so does the farmer. So it works out really well to put this sprinkler here in the middle, and you have yourself a farmer over here, and then this is what's going to automatically harvest our crop for us. Now along the way you're going to see I've added these switches so I can turn things on and off. Troubleshooting. If you remove all the switches, the thing's just going to run automatically. So I hit the switch and boom, a crop harvest begins. That's fun. And whoop, if we look here, It's got a bunch of canola seeds and canola, right? And let's make sure that this is on and whitelisted. And now that's going to pull automatically. Now if I turn that off, it turns off the servo, turns off the farmer. No more farming. Turn that on, turns the farmer on. Turns this on automatically. Alright. The servo pulls the crops down a floor, and that comes into this system. And this is where it collects the canola, and it collects the seeds. Now the canola is going over here and is fermented. So it goes from phase 1 to phase 2 very quickly and with very little power, just the canola press. And I have it going there into a stone drum. And the seeds then need to be split. So I split the seeds so we can use them in multiple spots. One of those spots is going to be here where we take this phase 1 to phase 2. And we're trying to take the raw canola oil and taking refined canola oil. And then we're also taking our canola seeds and making crystallized canola seeds using the atomic reconstructor. Now I have this switch here I've turned on to automatically start the pull, and you can see there's seeds coming down automatically here. And it also starts the fermentation in the canola press. Now the seeds are automatically converted from 1 to 2 crystallized canola. We'll just turn that off for now, so we don't have to listen to it. It does make noise, and it keeps on going. I'll go into how to set limits on that in a little bit. All right, continue with the overview, though. That's your phase 1 to 2, right? Phase 1 to 2 oil, phase 1 to 2 seeds here, and it puts them right here in the storage drive. And that's our crystallized canola seeds. All right, so let's get those going on to the next phase for us a little bit. Actually, we already have enough there. That's going to be phase 3 here. This is where we're going to take our seeds and we're going to convert them from phase 2 to phase 3, empowered seeds. And we've built an empowerer here, and it's automatic. So it will automatically send items up, convert them to the empowered seeds, and then as long as I have this switch on, it will automatically grab them. So it's taking the crystallized seeds from over here and bringing them, routes them over here, and they pop up in the middle. And this is the regular seeds, the regular plain old canola seeds that we saw back at that splitter. Right? And then this gives you your final, that gives you your final seed that you'll need. Now let's turn that on. Right, I turn that on, it kicks them off because now I'm kind of below that last area, right? That's the atomic reconstructor, and those seeds come down and it splits them again here because we're going to need these for the oil, actually, for oil phase 3. And then we're also going to need those seeds here to convert them and use them for oil phase 4. So those are the empowered seeds right there. So it's routing those seeds all the way over here. It's pulling those seeds from the phase 1. Here's the seeds from the phase 2. It automatically comes over here, splits them off into this complicated mess, and distributes them up here Bam! And once they're all there, powered, and it automatically pulls it using this servo. And then it stores it below. We're ready to go for the next. So we'll save that from moving forward. Now let's look at the oil here. Up here at the top, we have our canola coming in. The canola is pulled over here into the canola press using this servo and some item duct. And it automatically will press it and make level 1 canola oil. Now if you put your fermenting bale right next to it, converts it to refined canola oil automatically. It's great. You don't need any connection. It's a little slow. I added a second fermenting barrel. Right, and so that goes into this drum here. Lots of refined canola oil. So then that goes to the machine below. A series of machines here. Now you can kind of lay this out any way you want. I've built this with a glass front so I can see what's happening. I think it's cool to watch it in action. That oil here, there's that drum. Pulls it out with the servo. You can see a little fluid there. It goes into the placer. So the fluid here is automatically placed. There's scanners to sense if what the oil is. If there's oil, triggers the sequencer here, which then routes down and around over here to the precision dropper. And what that does is that's going to take our crystallized seed from above, throws it into the oil, and converts it to crystallized oil, which is level 3 oil. Hence the oil phase 3 system. The system uses the refined materials from the above floor. It fills the tank with refined canola oil and drops a crystallized seed to make crystallized oil. Auto pull to the next phase. So very cool little system here. Let's turn it on so we can watch a couple of those seeds get pulled out. And it takes a second here as it goes through the tunnel. And pow, look at that. You see that? Converts it, senses it, pulls it. The crystallized oil gets scooped up by the fluid collector here at the top. I put it there. And then it senses it with this device here, the scanner. Triggers this line and says fluid collector, if it's crystallized oil, pull it. And it pulls it. And bam, down into another drum, where we go down to another floor. I've built this layout before, and it was very complicated and all over the place. So this is my second build on a server of this canola farm automation. I wanted to try to have a little more laid out and all in one structure. So I think it's come together nicely. So I did this one a little bit differently for the phase 4 oil, empowered oil. The last phase will fill the tank with the crystallized oil from phase 3 above. And then an empowered seed from the empower over there is dropped in, and bam, we have ourselves empowered oil, the most powerful oil early on game. And it burns here in the oil generator nicely. Ticking away. Ticking away. To get our seeds over here, we've put a little stopgap, right? But it does the same thing. Again, if you remove the switches, everything's just going to go automatically through here because you just put these servos to pull through. I've just set them to work. And there you go. Watch, drops the seed, senses it, pulls it. Drops the seed, senses it, pulls it. Now this one I wanted to come from above, just from, routing purposes, made it easy. So I put the precision dropper up here. Last one had it below it. So you can lay it out however you like. I used the redstone wire connectors here on this one to kind of show you that that's possible too. You're almost always going to need to get down to that bottom block somehow, so it can be a little bit tricky to figure out how you're going to build it here in survival mode. But then I have the fluid collector, goes into a small drum, which I then just have pulling over here to a big drum, and it's burning it, and I have it turned off right now. It fills it up nicely. I wanted to make sure that there was fuel here to show you guys. So that's the overview. I've taken all the steps from farm to burner. It took me the entire day there to walk you through it. Great stopping point for part 1, the overview of Actual Additions Canola Powerhouse. Coming up in another video, part 2, go into a little bit more detail here on the layout, on how each one is built, and kind of the flow detail of it. That was the overview. I know it was still a lot, but this is a rather complicated build to have early on game. It's super powerful. You can do it once you build your Empowerer. I hope you found part 1 helpful in your own build. Thanks for watching, everybody. This has been an episode of Casually Surviving Minecraft. I'm Red, the Casual Gamer. If you enjoy gaming at a casual pace and you enjoyed this video, you know which buttons to push. We'll see you next time, everybody.